There are moments in life when loneliness feels like a heavy weight on your chest. It creeps in quietly, leaving you questioning your worth, your purpose, and even your place in this world. But what if I told you that in these very moments, you are never truly alone? That your feelings of isolation are not signs of abandonment, but invitations to recognize a presence far greater than what you see with your eyes. Sometimes, Allah allows us to feel alone so that we can learn to rely on Him in ways we never have before. He is closer than your jugular vein, watching over your heart, listening to the silent whispers of your soul, and guiding you toward a path you cannot yet see. Loneliness is not a punishment. It is a sacred space where your heart is being refined, where your reliance is shifted from the temporary to the eternal, where your faith becomes intimate and personal. Remember, the nights may feel long, but the one who is with you never sleeps. The one who is shaping your destiny is always working quietly in your favor. Even when it feels like nobody is there, you are never truly alone. When these words are spoken, they often sound comforting, but in the middle of loneliness, they can feel distant, abstract, almost unreal. Yet the truth is deeper than anything the world can offer. There is a companionship that does not change, a presence that does not shift with seasons, and a love that does not depend on who stays or who leaves. Sometimes Allah allows doors to close, people to walk away, and silence to surround you, not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants to redirect your heart to the only one who never leaves. In the moments when you feel unseen, He sees you. When you feel unheard, He hears you. When you feel forgotten, He remembers you. Loneliness becomes heavy when you believe you are carrying it alone. But the moment you realize that the most merciful is carrying you through it, everything changes. You are not walking through life unsupported. Even when your heart feels empty, even when your bed feels too wide, even when your phone stays silent, your soul is never abandoned. Allah is closer than your own breath, closer than your own thoughts, closer than anyone you have ever loved. You may not feel His presence with your senses, but you experience it in the subtle ways your heart keeps beating, your hope keeps resurfacing, and your faith refuses to die. That quiet strength that pulls you back from despair. That is Him. The unexpected comfort that arrives after a night of tears. That is Him. The sudden clarity in confusion. The tiny signs that you are not forgotten. Each one is a whisper from the one who guards your soul more gently than any human ever could. Sometimes He removes the noise around you so that you can finally hear Him. Loneliness is not always an emptiness. It is often a space He creates to bring you closer. When the world goes silent, it becomes easier to hear the truth your heart has been avoiding, that no human presence can replace divine companionship. People may love you, but they are limited. They become tired, distracted, preoccupied, and imperfect. But Allah's company is constant. His attention does not waver. His care does not run out. His support does not weaken. He does not love you because of what you do for Him. He loves you because He created you, because you belong to Him, because He knows the deepest parts of you that even you struggle to understand. And in those nights when tears fall quietly, remember this: every tear is seen, every H is counted, every prayer is recorded. Angels are with you. Mercy surrounds you. Protection follows you. You are living every moment under His watchful gaze, wrapped in layers of unseen help. Even when you cannot see the wisdom behind your loneliness, trust that something is unfolding for your benefit. Your isolation may be preparing you for a blessing, a sheet, a new beginning that requires you to detach from what was never meant to hold you. You are never truly alone because the one who formed your heart is the one who comforts it. The one who created your path is the one who walks it with you. The one who knows your fears is the one who replaces them with strength. You were not created to be abandoned. You were created to be held, guided, loved, and supported by the one who has never left your side, not for a single heartbeat. When everyone else walks away, when the world turns cold, His mercy wraps itself around you like warmth. When you fall, His hand is the first to lift you. And when you whisper in the quiet of the night, He responds with a nearness that fills the emptiness you thought would swallow you. So when loneliness visits you, do not see it as a sign of loss. See it as a reminder of who has been with you from the very beginning, who is with you now, and who will remain with you long after every soul has moved on. You are never truly alone, because the one who loves you most is always, always there. This moment is temporary. Even when it feels endless, even when the weight of it sits heavy on your chest, even when you cannot imagine life beyond the pain you are carrying right now. The human heart has a way of magnifying the present, making the difficult moments feel permanent and the darkness feel like it will never lift. But nothing in this world lasts forever. Not your sadness, not your confusion, not your heartbreak, not your waiting. Life moves in seasons, and no season stays. What you are living through right now is not your final chapter. It is not the conclusion of your story. It is simply a moment, a testament, a passage your soul is walking through, and it will change, it will shift, it will soften. Even the longest night eventually welcomes the dawn. When you look back at your life, you realize how many times you believed you would never overcome something. And yet, here you are. You survived heartbreaks you thought would break you permanently. You walked through pain that once felt unbearable. You healed from wounds you were sure would remain open forever. Every struggle you have faced has eventually found its closure. This moment will too. It may feel overwhelming, but it is not infinite. It may feel consuming, but it is not your destiny. Allah does not leave you inside a storm without eventually guiding you to a clearing. If He allowed this moment to moment, it carries a wisdom that will one day make sense, even if today it feels cruel or confusing. The heart often confuses delay with denial, waiting with punishment, difficulty with abandonment. But the truth is far more gentle. Allah allows certain moments to stretch us, to grow us, to teach us patience, resilience, and trust. If every day were easy, your heart would never expand. If every prayer were answered immediately, you would never learn to rely on Him. If every path were smooth, you would never discover the strength He placed within you. So when you feel stuck, when you feel lost, when you feel like this moment is suffocating you, pause, breathe, and remember nothing stays. Your circumstances are shifting in ways you cannot yet see. Relief is being written, openings are being prepared, and a new chapter is quietly forming behind the scenes. Sometimes the temporary nature of life is not a source of fear, but a source of comfort. The very fact that everything changes is what gives you hope. The pain you feel today will not be the pain you feel. The confusion clouding your mind will clear. The heaviness weighing down your heart will lift. You are being guided even when you don't feel it. You are being protected even when you cannot see it. And you are being carried, especially in the moments when you feel too weak to carry yourself. Allah is not just watching your journey, He is actively writing it with mercy, wisdom, and love. And when the relief finally arrives, and it will, you will look back at this moment with a softness, with gratitude, with a deeper understanding of who you became because of it. You will realize that the very thing you feared would break you was actually molding you into someone stronger, someone wiser, someone more connected to the one who never leaves. You will see how every delay was protection, how every hardship carried a lesson, and how every tear watered the seeds of something beautiful within you. This moment is temporary. It may not feel light right now, but light is coming. It may not feel purposeful right now, but purpose is unfolding. It may not feel hopeful right now, but hope is already on its way to you. Hold on with patience. Trust the process. Believe in the one who can turn the heaviest moment into the greatest transformation. One day soon, you will step out of this chapter and realize that what once felt like an ending was actually the beginning of something better. Your heart is being strengthened, even if right now it feels fragile, overwhelmed, or on the edge of breaking. Strength is not something that appears suddenly. It is built quietly, in moments of struggle, in nights of tears, in days when you keep going even though your soul feels tired. The human heart does not grow through ease. It grows through every experience that tests it, stretches it, and resheaves. What you're facing right now is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to evolve you. Allah allows certain storms not to punish you, but to polish you. He allows certain disappointments not to break you, but to rebuild you into someone more resilient, more grounded, more aware of His presence. Every hardship carries a hidden gift, the strengthening of your heart. Sometimes it feels like you are becoming weaker because you feel more deeply, because the pain seems heavier, because emotions rise in ways you can't control. But that vulnerability is not weakness. It's the soil where true strength. You are learning to endure what once frightened you, to rise from what once defeated you, to breathe through what once suffocated you. Your heart is expanding with every challenge, even when you don't recognize it. You are learning patience, surrender, and resilience, qualities that only emerge when life becomes overwhelming. The heart that feels everything is the heart that eventually learns how to withstand anything. Every wound you've carried has shaped your inner strength. Every time you got back up, even with trembling hands, your heart grew stronger. Every time you chose hope over despair, faith over fear, and gratitude over bitterness, your heart gained powers. Strength does not always look like confidence or clarity. Sometimes strength looks like continuing to pray even when your soul feels dry. Sometimes it looks like smiling even when your eyes are tired. Sometimes it looks like holding on to Allah's promise when everything in you is tempted to give up. These moments count. These moments matter. And these moments are transforming you from the inside out. There is a divine wisdom behind every difficulty. Allah sees the strength inside you long before you do. He knows your capacity, your potential, your hidden courage. And He brings tests not to expose your weakness, but to reveal your strength. Even when you feel like you are breaking, He is gathering every piece and molding you into someone who will rise higher than before. Even when your heart aches for, it is being stretched to hold more compassion, more patience, more faith. Even when life feels uncertain, He is preparing you to be someone who trusts deeper than ever. These silent transformations are the most powerful ones. The ones that change not just your circumstances, but your soul. And one day, you will see it clearly. You will look back at this chapter and realize how much your heart learned to carry. You will realize that what once felt unbearable became the very thing that taught you how strong you truly are. You will recognize that the pain you felt was not a sign of weakness, but the process of strengthening. You will understand that every tear watered the seeds of growth. You will notice how your faith widened, how your patience deepened, how your resilience thickened. The heart you are carrying now is not the same heart you had before. It is wiser, braver, more connected to Allah. So even if you cannot see it yet, trust that your heart is being strengthened in ways you will one day be grateful for. This chapter is not the end, it is a training ground. This pain is not empty, it is purposeful. And this journey is not breaking you, it is building you into someone who will rise, who will heal, who will become a testimony to the mercy and wisdom of the one who never wastes a single tear. Your heart is becoming stronger, gently, quietly, steadily, with every breath you take. Reach out and connect, even when your heart tells you to withdraw, even when loneliness convinces you that no one will understand, even when the weight of your emotions makes you want to close yourself off from the world. Isolation may feel like the safest place when you are hurting, but the truth is that human connection is one of the ways Allah sends healing into your life. You were not created to walk through every trial alone. You were created with a heart that needs companionship, kindness, community, and shared humanity. Sometimes the relief you've been praying for doesn't arrive in a sudden miracle. It arrives in the form of a comforter, a supportive friend, or a gentle presence that reminds you that you still belong, that you still matter. There is a beauty in recognizing that reaching out is not a sign of weakness, but a sign of courage. It means you are choosing vulnerability over silence, connection over isolation, hope over despair. It means that despite the heaviness you feel, there is still a part of you that believes in light, in support, in healing. You don't have to have perfect words to reach out. You don't need to explain every wound or articulate every thought. Sometimes reaching out is as simple as telling someone you need them, asking for a moment of their time, or accepting their offer to be there. The heart often heals not by being fully understood, but by simply not being alone. There are people Allah has placed in your life specifically to hold your hand through moments like this. There are souls who are meant to remind you that love still exists, that mercy still surrounds you, that kindness still breathes in the world, but you have to allow them in. You have to give yourself permission to be supported, to be comforted, to be seen. Too often we push people away because we fear burdening them or disappointing them. But the truth is, real connections are strengthened in the moments of openness. When you let someone witness your struggle, your authenticity, your rawness, you are building a bond that is honest, compassionate, and real. And understand this deep light reaching out is part of Allah's design. The Prophet has taught us the importance of community, compassion, and unity. That a believer is not meant to stand alone, that we are mirrors for one another, that our hearts are interconnected in ways we cannot always see. When you speak to someone who reminds you of Allah, who lifts your spirit, who reassures your heart, you are not just talking to a person, you are receiving a mercy that Allah sent through them. Connection is a form of divine care. Support is a form of divine love. Sometimes the help you seek from Allah comes through the hearts of the people He sends your way. There are also moments where reaching out means reconnecting with yourself, sitting with your emotions honestly instead of running from them, acknowledging your pain instead of burying it, allowing your heart to feel so that it can heal. And beyond people, there is another connection waiting for you, the connection with Allah. When you reach out to Him in dua, when you speak your truth in the silence of the night, when you let your tears fall as a prayer, you are connecting with the one who understands you more deeply than anyone ever could. This connection fills the emptiness that no human companionship can reach. In time, you will see the wisdom in reaching out. You will see how a simple conversation shifted your mood, how one act of kindness softened your heart, how one sincere connection brought peace where fear once lived. You will see that the loneliness you felt was not a sign that you were forgotten, but a sign that your heart was longing for connection, and that connection was being prepared for you. Whether through a friend, a family member, a stranger, or the quiet nearness of Allah, healing often enters through the doorway you open when you reach out. So don't hide your heart away. Don't convince yourself that you must be strong alone. Strength grows in community, in compassion, in togetherness. Reach out, connect, speak, share, allow yourself to be supported. You were never meant to carry life by yourself. Allah sends people as gifts, as anchors. And sometimes the courage to receive those gifts is the first step toward healing. Reflect on your blessings, not because your struggles are small, not because your pain is insignificant, but because your heart needs reminders of what is still beautiful, still present, still holding you together. In difficult times, the mind naturally gravitates toward what is missing, what is broken, what is uncertain. It becomes easy to overlook the quiet gifts that surround you every single day. Yet reflection is not about denying your hardship. It is about widening your vision so your heart does not drown in what is wrong. When you pause to notice the blessings that continue to exist despite everything, you begin to realize that even in your darkest moments, you are being cared for in ways you didn't even recognize. Blessings are not always loud or obvious. Often, they are subtle. The breath you take without effort, the strength that carries you through another day, the people who check on you, the roof above your head, the food that reaches your table, the heartbeat that continues even on the days you feel like giving up. These are not small things. They are miracles disguised as ordinary. And when you reflect on them, you begin to see that Allah's mercy has been woven into every corner of your life. Even when one area feels helpless, countless others are being held together with divine precision and care. Sometimes blessings appear in the form of what didn't happen, the harm that was redirected, the heartbreak that was prevented, the danger you never even knew you were protected from. Allah saves you in ways you will never fully understand. He shields you, guides you, and redirects you constantly. And when you reflect on your blessings, you acknowledge not only the gifts you can see, but the unseen protection that surrounds you at every moment. You were never left alone. You were never forgotten. There have been blessings walking beside you long before you recognized them. Reflecting on your blessings also transforms the heart. It softens bitterness, reduces anxiety, and rebuilds trust. When you remember what Allah has done for you in the past, it becomes easier to believe that He will take care of you now. Gratitude and faith are deeply connected. When one strengthens, the other grows. Every blessing you recall is like a light turning on inside your chest, reminding you that Allah has always been generous, always been near, always been working for you. And the heart that remembers this becomes calmer, more grounded, more hopeful. When life feels overwhelming, reflecting on your blessings is not meant to erase your pain. It is meant to balance your heart. You can acknowledge your sadness while also recognizing your gifts. You can carry your wounds while still seeing the beauty around you. You can cry through the night and wake up to a morning filled with blessings that are still waiting for you. Gratitude does not erase struggle, but it gives your heart strength to endure it with grace. It helps you see that your story is not defined by what is missing, but by everything Allah continues to provide. And sometimes, your blessings are found inside the hardship itself. The patience you are learning, the resilience you are building, the closeness to Allah you are developing, these are blessings too. The struggle that is shaping you is also preparing you. The pain that is refining you is also elevating you. When you reflect deeply, you realize that even the difficulty carries mercy within it. Your tears are not wasted. Your prayers are not ignored. Your endurance is not overlooked. There is goodness being written into your heart through every experience. One day, you will look back and see how many blessings surrounded you at a time you thought you had nothing. You will realize how much you still had even when life felt empty. And you will understand that gratitude was not just an act of remembering, it was a lifeline, a source of strength, a way of keeping your heart connected to the one who has always been generous with you. So pause, breathe, and reflect on your blessings. They are more than you think, closer than you realize, and deeper than you feel. Your heart needs this reminder, not to deny your struggle, but to remind you that even in hardship, Allah's mercy never leaves you. Turn to prayer and dhikr, not as a last resort, not as something you do only when pain becomes unbearable, but as the very place your heart returns to when the world feels heavy and your soul feels lost. Prayer is not just a ritual, it is a sanctuary, a conversation, a place where your burdens become lighter simply because you hand them over to the one who can carry what you cannot. And Dhikr, the remembrance of Allah, is the nourishment your heart craves even when you don't realize it. It is the quiet medicine for your fear, the softening of your sadness, the calming of your restless thoughts. Whenever life feels overwhelming, whenever loneliness tightens around your chest, the doorway to peace is always open, and it is found in turning back to Him. There is something profoundly healing about standing before Allah with all your weaknesses exposed. You don't need perfect work. You don't need to hide your fears or pretend to be strong. In prayer, your tears are understood without explanation. Your silence is heard without sound, and your heartbreak is seen without judgment. It is the one place where your soul can lay down everything it has been carrying. Every time your forehead touches the ground, you are surrendering your worries to the most merciful. Every time your hands rise in dua, you are trusting that the one who wrote your story will guide its next page with wisdom and love. Prayer becomes a refuge, not because your circumstances change instantly, but because your heart finds the strength to face them. Dhikr softens the heaviness that builds within you. When you repeat the Fakhabr Subhanallah, you remind your soul of Allah's perfection beyond your problems. When you say Alhamdulillah, you anchor yourself in gratitude even during hardship. When you say Allahu Akbar, you remind your heart that Allah's greatness surpasses every fear and every difficulty. And when you say La ilaha illa Allah, you reaffirm the deepest truth that there is no one who can heal you, guide you, or hold you except Him. Dhikr is like breathing for the soul. The more you remember Him, the lighter your heart becomes, the clearer your mind grows, and the stronger your faith. There will be moments when you feel too tired to pray, too numb to speak, too overwhelmed to articulate what you feel. But even in those moments, whispering a single word of dhikr can shift something inside you. Even a silent dua, even a tear that falls with no words. All of it is heard. Allah does not wait for you to be perfect to turn back to Him. He only waits for you to come. You don't need to have everything together. You don't need to understand your pain fully. You don't need to feel spiritual or strong. Just turn to Him with whatever state your heart is in. He accepts you, He listens to you, He responds to you. Prayer and dhikr also bring clarity. They entangle the confusion in your mind and calm the storms in your heart. When you stand before Allah, you begin to see your trials through a different lens, not as punishments but as pathways, not as endings but as transitions, not as burdens but as steps toward a greater version of you. Prayer gives you the strength to endure what you thought you couldn't. Dhikr gives you the patience to carry what once felt unmanageable. Together, they turn fear into trust, loneliness into, and despair into hope. And slowly, quietly, you begin to feel a shift. The heaviness lifts. The noise in your mind lifts. The ache in your heart becomes bearable. You begin to feel a presence, gentle, reassuring, near. That is Allah's mercy reaching you. That is His response to your whispers. That is the comfort you had been searching for in all the wrong places. The more you remember Him, the more you feel that He has never forgotten you. One day, you will look back and realize that the moments you turned to prayer and dhikr were the moments that carried you through your darkest chapters. They were the rope that kept you from falling, the light that guided you through confusion, the comfort that held you when nothing else could. So when you feel overwhelmed, return to the one who created your heart. When you feel lost, speak to the one who knows your soul. When you feel empty, fill your tongue with His remembrance. Peace is not found outside of you. It is found in the connection you build with the one who never leaves you. Turn to prayer. Turn to Dhikr. Turn to the one who waits for your return with more love than you can imagine. This is where your heart finds its home.